We will solve today the questions, the tutorial part of combined stresses and theories of failure. You can refer the book for the questions. Question number 1. A solid shaft can resist a bending moment of 3 kilonewton meter. Bending moment is given as 3 kilonewton meter and a twisting moment of 4 kilonewton meter. Together, then maximum torque that can be applied is. Maximum torque means we have to determine the T equivalent. This is the maximum torque. This will be equal to under root of m square plus t square. So this will be under root of 3 square plus 4 square, or equivalent torque Te will be equal to 5 kilonewton meter. Answer is B. Okay. Next, question number 2. A small element at a critical section of the component is in biaxial state of stress with two principal stresses being 360 megapascal and 140 megapascal. Two principal stresses, sigma 1 is given as 360 megapascal and sigma 2 is given as 140 megapascal. Okay, biaxial state of stress, that means sigma 3 will be equal to 0. Only two stresses are given. The maximum working stress according to distortion energy theory is. We know according to distortion energy theory what sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 3 minus sigma 1 whole square is equal to 2 into SYT upon n ka whole square. This is the formula according to distortion energy theory. Okay, and since sigma 3 is 0, so this can be further reduced to sigma 1 square minus sigma 2 square minus sigma 1 sigma 2 is equal to SYT upon n ka whole square, where SYT upon n is nothing but the working stress. Okay, or we can write S working square, this will be equal to what? 360 square plus 140 square, sorry, this is plus 140 square minus 360 into 140. So the working stress from here we will get as 314.32 megapascal. So the answer is C. Okay. Next, question number 3. Just read out the question. Question number 3 is repeated. Question number 4. Just read the question number 4. A shaft is subjected to maximum bending stress of 80 megapascal and maximum shear stress of 30 megapascal at a particular section. Maximum bending stress, that means sigma B is given as 80 megapascal and maximum shear stress tau is given as 30 megapascal at a particular section, and the yield point is also given. Yield point in tension is given as 280 megapascal and maximum shear stress theory is used. Okay, the factor of safety obtained will be, we know what, according to maximum shear stress theory, tau max is equal to SYT upon 2n. Okay, and tau max we can determine, we have the value of sigma B. If we draw the elemental diagram, stress element, okay, sigma x is nothing but sigma B, sigma y will be 0, and along with this a shear stress of tau is acting. Okay, so in this case we know what, tau max will be equal to under root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 ka whole square plus tau xy square. Okay, or this can be written as under root of sigma b by 2 square plus tau square. Okay, just put the values, we will get this tau max as 40 square plus 30 square, which will be equal to 50 megapascal. This is tau max, 50 megapascal. Okay, now use maximum shear stress theory. Tau max, this 50 megapascal is equal to SYT by 2n. So this will be equal to 280 by 2n. From here we will get the value of factor of safety n as 2.8. Okay, so answer is B. Okay, next question. Question number 5. A circular shaft is subjected to a bending moment and twisting moment of 300 kilonewton meter, sorry, bending moment of 400 kilonewton meter and twisting moment of 300 kilonewton meter. Okay, according to maximum principal stress theory, direct stress is sigma. According to maximum shear stress theory, shear stress is tau. We have to determine the ratio of sigma by tau. Okay, so according to principal stress theory, this sigma is what? This will be equal to 32 m equivalent upon pi dq, 32 me by pi dq. Okay, and according to maximum shear stress theory, tau is equal to 16 te by pi dq. So for this, to determine the value of sigma by tau, we will have to first determine the value of this equivalent bending moment and equivalent twisting moment. Okay, and that we can easily determine. Equivalent bending moment me is equal to half m plus under root of m square plus t square. Okay, just put the values and we will get it as 1 by 2, 400 plus 500. So this will be equal to 450 kilonewton meter. Similarly, equivalent twisting moment, we know what? Under root of m square plus t square. So this will be 500 kilonewton meter. Okay, just put the values of me and te here. Pi d cube cancel out. This will be 2 times. Therefore, sigma by tau will be equal to, just put the value, this will be equal to 9 by 5. Okay, so the answer is C. Clear? Next question. Question number 6. The Mohr circle of a plane stress for a body is shown in figure. The design is to be done on the basis of maximum shear stress theory. So we have a Mohr circle like this. This is minus 100 megapascal. This is minus 10 megapascal. And the radius will be obviously tau max. Okay, we have to design it on the basis of maximum shear stress theory for yielding. The yielding just begins if the designer chooses a ductile material whose yield strength is. We have to determine the final yield strength of the material. Okay, so how can we determine? This tau max will be equal to what? We know that tau max is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. Okay, or this tau max, maximum shear stress, or we can say permissible shear stress, this will be equal to SYT upon 2n is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. Okay, we have to determine the maximum value where the yielding starts. Okay, so for that this n is taken as 1, this 2 gets cancelled out. Okay, and we will get SYT as sigma 1 minus sigma 2. So this will be equal to minus 100 minus 10. So this is minus 90 megapascal, and if we consider only magnitude, so it will be 90 megapascal. Answer is C. Okay, next question. For the state of stress shown in figure, which of the following theories of failure should be used? So we have a state of stress given in this figure. A spherical state of stress, magnitude is same in each and every direction. Magnitude and directions are same, and that too is tensile. Okay, we have to determine which of the following theories of failure can be used. That means, can we use in this maximum principal stress theory? Can we use maximum shear stress theory? Can we use maximum distortion energy theory for solving this? Okay, and we know what, according to maximum shear stress theory, let us check it for the maximum shear stress theory. We know what, according to maximum shear stress theory, tau max is equal to half into maximum of sigma 1 minus sigma 2, sigma 2 minus sigma 3, and sigma 1 minus sigma 3. This is according to maximum shear stress theory. Okay, this is the way of determining this tau max, and according to maximum shear stress theory, we know what, this tau max should be equal to SYT upon 2n. So for that we have to determine this tau max. Okay, and what is this tau max for this state of stress, sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3? all are 0, so this term will be 0. So this question cannot be solved according to maximum shear stress theory. Getting this? Similarly, according to maximum distortion energy theory, we know the formula what? Sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 1 minus sigma 3 whole square is equal to 2 into SYT by n ka whole square. The same problem exists here. Sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3 are same. So this can also not be solved by maximum distortion energy theory. Okay. According to maximum principal stress theory, this sigma 1 is equal to SYT by n. Okay. And sigma 1 here in this case is nothing but sigma. So this can be solved with the help of this maximum principal stress theory. Okay. So the answer should be A, maximum principal stress theory. Getting this? Okay. Next question. Now, another similar question is given, but now the state of stress is like this. Both are tensile sigma. Okay, and obviously here sigma 1 is equal to sigma, sigma 2 is equal to sigma, and sigma 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so because sigma 3 is equal to 0, we can apply maximum shear stress theory, because tau max is what? Half of maximum of sigma 1 minus sigma 2, sigma 2 minus sigma 3 and sigma 1 minus sigma 3. Okay, since sigma 3 is 0, so there will be a finite value, there will be a positive value for this tau max, and we can solve it according to maximum shear stress theory. Similarly, we can solve it according to maximum distortion energy theory and as well as according to maximum principal stress theory. Okay, so the answer is all of the above, D. By using every theory, we can solve this question. Clear or not? Okay. Next question, question number 9. Question number 9. Just read out this question carefully. According to maximum shear stress theory, permissible twisting moment in a circular shaft is T. According to maximum shear stress theory, permissible twisting moment is T. The permissible twisting moment according to maximum principal stress theory, this we have to determine. Okay, according to maximum shear stress theory, permissible twisting moment is given as T. According to maximum principal stress theory, how much will be this permissible twisting moment? This we have to determine. Suppose that permissible twisting moment is T dash. That means we have to determine this, the value of T dash. Getting this? Now, according to maximum shear stress theory, we know what? T equivalent is equal to under root of m square plus T square. Okay? And according to maximum principal stress theory, we know what? ME is equal to half m plus under root of m square plus T dash square. Why T dash? Because according to maximum principal stress theory, this permissible twisting moment is T dash, and that is what we have to determine. T dash we have to determine. Okay, just take the ratios of this two. Okay, and what we will get from here? Just put the value of TE and ME. How can we determine this value? We know what? Sigma is equal to 32 ME by pi d cube. That means ME will be equal to pi by 32 d cube into sigma. Okay. Similarly, TE, we know tau is equal to what? 16 TE by pi d cube. Therefore, TE is equal to pi by 16 d cube into tau. Okay. Just put the value. And second thing, this m is not applied. That means m is equal to 0. Just put m is equal to 0 and put the value of TE and ME. What we will get? Pi by 16 d cube tau upon pi by 32 d cube sigma is equal to T upon, this will be m will be 0, this is T dash by 2. Getting this? Okay, or we will get this as tau by sigma is equal to T by T dash. Now we have to determine the permissible value, maximum permissible value, and maximum permissible. For this we will have to put the maximum permissible value of sigma and tau. Okay, and permissible value of this tau is nothing but yield stress and shear, and permissible value of sigma is nothing but yield stress and tension. Okay, so this will be equal to T by T dash, and we know what yield stress and shear is equal to yield stress and tension by 2. So this will be upon S by T, this is equal to T by T dash, or from here we can write T dash is equal to 2T. Okay, so the answer is D, T dash is 2T. Clear? Okay, next question, another similar question, question number 10 is almost similar to what we have already solved. Okay, what is given in this case? According to maximum principal stress theory, maximum permissible moment is M, according to maximum principal stress theory. Okay, then according to maximum shear stress theory, this maximum permissible moment we have to determine. And suppose, as we have considered, this maximum bending moment is M dash. Okay, now the same thing we have to do, but in this case T will be 0. Getting this? Okay, so according to maximum shear stress theory, this tau is equal to what? Sorry, this T is equal to what? Under root of M square plus T square, and according to maximum principal stress theory, this will be M dash, and according to maximum principal stress theory, this sigma or M equivalent, this will be equal to half M plus under root of M square plus T square. Okay, since T is equal to 0, therefore TE by ME, this will be equal to, T is equal to 0, this will be equal to M upon M dash upon M. Okay, now just put the values. What we will get? This will be equal to pi by 16 d cube into tau s upon pi by 32 d cube into sigma b is equal to M dash upon M. Further we can write 2 into tau s, and tau s will be written as SYT by 2 upon sigma b is nothing but SYT. This will be equal to M dash upon M. So from here we will get M dash will be equal to M. Answer is A. M dash is equal to M. Okay. Next question. Question number 11. Okay, just read this question. State of stress in a system is described by sigma 1 is given as 200 megapascal, sigma 2 is given as 90 megapascal, and sigma 3 is given as 160 megapascal. If a material of tensile yield strength of 400 megapascal is used, okay, yield strength in tension is given as 400 megapascal. We have to determine factor of safety according to maximum shear stress theory and factor of safety according to maximum distortion energy theory. Okay, how can we determine this? Now, according to maximum shear stress theory, we know what? Tau max is equal to SYT by 2n. Okay, so for this we will have to determine first the tau max. And what is tau max? This is nothing but half into maximum of sigma 1 minus sigma 2, that is 200 minus 90, sigma 2 minus sigma 3, 90 minus 160, and sigma 1 minus sigma 3, 200 minus 160. So, okay, so what is maximum in this? 200 minus 90 is 110 divided by 2 is 55 megapascal. Okay, this will be the maximum. This is tau max. Okay, now we have to determine, we have the value of tau max, we have the value of SYT, we have to determine the value of factor of safety. Okay, just determine this. How? This 55 will be equal to SYT is how much? 400 by 2n. Okay, or from here n will be equal to 3.63. Simple. Okay. In similar way, we can solve it for maximum distortion energy theory. What does maximum distortion energy theory says? Sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 1 minus sigma 3 whole square is equal to 2 into SYT by N ka whole square. Okay. Just put all the values. We have the value of sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 and SYT, and we will get the value of factor of safety N will be equal to 4.14. Answer. I think this is clear. Okay. Now, next is question number 12. Question number 12. A good question. A component in an aircraft flap actuator can be adequately modeled as a cylindrical bar subjected to an axial force of 8 kilonewton, a bending moment of 55 Newton meter and a torsional moment of 30 Newton meter. Okay, so we have a component of aircraft flap actuator, and this is subjected to the following state of stress. This is subjected to an axial force of how much? 8 kilonewton. This is also subjected to bending moment of how much? 55 Newton meter and a twisting moment of T is equal to 30 Newton meter. Okay. Now, a 20 mm diameter solid bar of 7075 T6 aluminium having SUT ultimate strength in tension is given as 591 megapascal and yield point is given as 542 megapascal, and SSYT yield stress and shear is given as 271 megapascal. This is used for making this aircraft flap actuator. Determine the factor of safety available as per maximum shear stress theory. Okay, so we have to use maximum shear stress theory and determine the factor of safety N. Okay, now according to maximum shear stress theory, very first thing we will have to determine tau max. Okay, and for that we have to draw the state of stress. How will be the state of stress? It is subjected to an axial stress, direct stress, sigma d. Okay. Along with this, it is subjected to a bending moment, and because of this bending moment, there will be a bending stress. Okay, so this will be plus minus of sigma b. Getting this? Plus, in case of if neutral, if it is a hogging moment, then if it is a sagging moment, then न्यूट्रल एक्सिस के नीचे क्या होगा? कंप्रेसिव, दैट मीन्स माइनस, और न्यूट्रल एक्सिस के ऊपर होगा टेंसाइल, दैट मीन्स प्लस. Okay, and next thing, along with this, it is subjected to a shear stress, torsional shear stress, tau. Getting this? Okay. Now, for this, just determine the value of sigma direct, sigma bending, and tau. What is sigma direct? P by A. P is given as 8 Newton, 8 kilonewton, 8000 Newton, divided by pi by 4 d square, 20 square. So this will be equal to 25.46 megapascal. First thing. Second, sigma bending is 32 m by pi d cube. Just put the value 32 into 55 into 10 raised power 3 divided by pi d cube, pi into 20 cube. So this will be equal to 70 megapascal. Okay. Similarly, tau is equal to 16 t by pi d cube. So this will be equal to 16 into t is 30 into 10 raised power 3 divided by pi into 20 cube. So this will be equal to 19.09 megapascal. Okay, so from here we can determine the value of tau max. Okay, what will be the tau max? Okay, and for this we will consider only the positive side, because we have to consider the maximum sigma x. Okay, the maximum magnitude of sigma x we will get when we have this sigma d plus sigma b. Okay, so what is tau max? We know under root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 का whole square plus tau x y का square. Okay, just put the value. Sigma x is nothing but sigma d plus sigma b, sigma y is 0 and tau xy is tau, which we have already determined. Okay, just put all the values. So we will get from here under root of 25.46 plus 70 by 2 का square plus 19.09 square. So this will be equal to 51.04 megapascal. This is tau max. Okay, and according to maximum shear stress theory, we know what this tau max is equal to SYT by 2n. So n will be equal to SYT, which is equal to 542 by 2 into 51.04. So n will be equal to 5.3. Answer. Getting this? Okay. Next, question number 13. Question number 13. Figure is given. This L-shaped structure is given and a force is applied at this end, F. A force F is applied on this end. Okay, and we have to determine the axial stress at the corner point P. That means at this point we have to determine the axial stress. Okay, and the cross section of this bar is given as 2B by 2B. Clear? Okay, now if we want to determine the effect in this particular section, because we have to determine the stress at P. Okay, so in order to determine the stress, the effect at this particular section of this force P, what we can do is we can just have equal and opposite force here, F and F. Okay, now just draw the equivalent section of this. How can we draw? Now this F and this F, this will together create a couple, a moment, a clockwise moment. Okay, so this will be a couple M. Okay, and the value of this M will be equal to what? This will be equal to F into distance between the two. So this will be equal to F into L minus B. First thing. Second thing, this force F is left, so a tensile force F will left here. Getting this? So this is a equivalent section. Now we have to determine the stress at this point P. Okay, what will be the final position of this bar? What will be the final position? It will bend like this. Because of this bending moment, it will bend like this. Getting this? That means because of bending at point P, tensile bending stress will act. Getting this or not? Okay, as well as because of this M, tensile force, tensile stress will act, and because of this F also tensile forces will act here. Okay, because we have to determine the stress at point P. That means total sigma P, this will be equal to sigma direct, which is because of this F, plus sigma bending, which is because of this M. Clear? Okay, just put the values. What is sigma direct? This is equal to P by A. What is sigma bending? This is M by I into Y. Okay, just put the values. P by A means F by area is how much? 4B square, plus moment is how much? F into L minus B by I. I means this is a square section, so it will be equal to 2B raised power 4 by 12 into Y. Y is nothing but 2B by 2, which is equal to B. Getting this or not? Okay, so from here we will get what? F upon 4B square plus 12 by 16, 3 by 4 f into L minus b upon b cube. Okay, and further we can solve this, and we will try to bring this in form of the answer, in form of the options. So it will be 4 upon f upon 4 b cube into 3L minus 2b. If you just open the bracket and solve this and just put common as f by 4 b cube, we will get inside the bracket as 3L by 4b. Okay, so the answer is D, f into 3L minus 2b upon 4b cube. Clear?